So let's talk about ball placement. So this is the ball, and let me just move it out of the way for the second. So if my feet are aligned, you can do this with those alignment sticks, or you can even do them with your golf clubs, right? Set up your feet alignment, okay? And then put one just sort of dead center between your feet. You can start at neutral position. One of the ways to achieve that is to start at neutral position where you have your feet touching, and then move your feet apart like that. Some people they'll do it various ways, but let's just start with that. So here, and then let's say that's center, right? And so having the ball, the center of my feet is not gonna be a shot. It's not gonna be my normal shot, okay? You've got the ball pretty much at the center of your feet. If I have it at the center of my feet, I'm trying to hit the ball lower in general. And when I mean the center of the feet, I mean, between obviously my 2 feet, and how this yardstick is right there in the middle, okay? So if the ball were placed here, the club head is already gonna start tilting downward, right? And then you always want a little bit of forward press, or what does my dad like to call it, supination? I think that's what Hogan said. Okay, so it's not like this. You're always your hands are always just a little bit tilted left like that, right? So this would be sort of a lower shot, not a super low shot. Now, if I'm wanting to hit a really low shot, then I'd move the ball even further back in my stance over here, and that gets the club head pointed down. And I come through, and I'm gonna hit it as the club head is tilted downward, and I'll have a lower trajectory when I'm trying to hit into the wind, or I'm trying to hit under a tree, or something like that, okay? You said you had a 7-iron. I would say a 7-iron needs to be, just a little left of center, somewhere around there, and that's probably going to be a good spot. The longer the club you're using, the further out it needs to go, and then particularly with a driver, and depending on how high you tee it up, you want it really far out, even as far out as your left toe. I mean, no joke. And because of that, because of the ball being on a tee, okay, it means that you're gonna hit the ball as the club's starting to go up. You're gonna hit it on the upswing because it's teed up, okay? And so the further out you go, means that the ball's teed up pretty high, and in this day and age, that's common. I mean, the club heads are huge, and we've got those super long tees, that are as longer than pencils, right? And then if you want to hit a high shot, you can put it even outside of your foot, okay? So I would be just a little left of center with something like a 7-iron, okay, 8-iron, 9-iron, kind of your short irons, and then as you start moving to like your 5s and your 4s or your hybrids, okay, start moving towards like the heel of your foot would be good, 3 wood, and then your driver needs to be closer to the toe of your left foot. And then also depending on how high you're teeing it up, okay? Whenever I'm trying to hit a driver low, then I'll tee it up low, and I'll also bring the driver back closer to the middle, and it's just, after a while, it's just something that you feel, but it takes time to establish that, and you know, and especially with the driver having to hit it on a low tee with a low trajectory is a pretty low percentage shot, okay? But it's something that's beneficial, and you've also seen the touring pros where they say, you know, they hit it off the deck, right? Where they're on a par 5 and they're 300 yards away from the green, right, on their second shot in the fairway, and they decide to hit a driver because they're just gonna hit a line drive shot as far as it will go with tons of top spin and hoping that it'll roll up on the green or something. And that's obviously a really hard shot to hit, okay? But they too will change the ball position when they're trying to hit a driver off the deck. You won't see them hitting off the deck from here because it's not teed up, okay? It's on the ground. The higher, you know, the longer the iron, one of the reasons you want it further out is because it has a higher percentage of hitting a cleaner shot. You know, it's fine. In other words, that you're not going to get a big divot. You shouldn't be getting like a big divot from a 5 iron or a 4 iron or a 3 iron. You want to hit those clean. You know, you just want to brush the grass, just kind of like how my hand's just brushing my arm hair here, right? You don't want a big divot. But on your shorter irons, you can take, it's fine to take a good divot. You're going to get a good result, you know, and so having it just left of center on the 7 irons, 8 irons, 9 irons, you're fine. You know, you'll hit the ball first and then you'll take a big divot afterwards, right? And then you'll get some really good spin off those short irons, okay? And then another reason why you would change the placement of the ball is just depending on how low or how high you want to hit it. I mean, when you're talking about hitting a wedge over a tree, right, that's close to you, then you want to move the ball as far forward as you can comfortably, and then you also want to open the face, you know, and then there's a different way that you'll follow through, but putting the ball at the front of your stance, opening the face, also increases the loft of the club, right? But again, the clubs that you are hitting with right now, the 7 iron, you know, just something left of center, something either at the heel or just inside the heel, but I wouldn't hit anything from center. Everything you're hitting right now, your ball's center of your feet. Move it more left, okay? That'll also help you stay behind the ball on your backswing when they talk about staying behind the ball and not tilting up front. So, but I'm really curious to see what ball placement will do, and then also ball placement, and then just kind of tilt, you know, just the supination, just kind of tilting. Not all like that, nothing crazy like that, but just a little nudge here, okay? When you're setting up with your left hand, okay, and then hitting it. So that's right now. That's what I would work on. So continue the weight shifting, you know, with the shoulder turn, and it's amazing how short you can take a backswing and get good distance just based on the impact and your follow through. I mean, where it's going, right? I mean, God, I've seen guys with just super short backswings. I mean, something that looks like 3/4. And I've seen some old guys, you know, in their 60s, you know, they'll take it this far back and man, they're still hitting it like 280 yards. You know, it's nuts because their impact is really efficient and their follow through is really good, you know, and you know, and they are shifting their weight and everything. So I think so much emphasis is put on the backswing, and it is important, okay? But if you don't follow through correctly, then you've just negated all the great things you did on your backswing, right? So getting that weight shifted, you know, and you should feel the weight shift to your right foot on your backswing. On the inside though, not on the outside. We don't want to topple over when you get back. If you sway, you know, you're not supposed to sway, but if you get to the weight on the outside of the foot, you may not get it to the left in time. Boom, and that's when you get one of these sorts of things, and you'll hit behind the ball. You'll hit it fat, okay? Because you didn't get your weight shifted to your left foot in time, right? So shifting from on the backswing to your inside of your right foot, and then inside of your right foot, and then coming through, driving with these knees, coming through, and then finishing with all the weight on your left foot. You raise your right foot, no problem, okay? And getting a great shoulder turn, just like we're doing that. So the shifting of the weight, follow through, shoulder turn, and then the placement of the ball, left of center, maybe as far out as your heel would be fine for like a 7-iron or something, okay? And then as you get to 3-wood hybrids, those things, get towards the toe of your foot, and then definitely when you're hitting a driver, hit it off your toe. Get it way out here so that you hit your driver on the upswing, okay? Because it's teed up, and the club needs to be moving up at that point, okay? You don't want it where the club is at its lowest point. That would be when you're hitting it off the deck, like the pros do, you know, at the Masters, right? All right, so that was fun.